we are putting our own 2 cents in. You know, it's our investment. We're paying attention. That's our investment. And the more you can just allow things to occur and not resist, then the more you can be in your intuition, so the more you can be in that flow. And things just show up the way you intend them. Are there a couple more questions? There was a question.
Well, I personally am psyched about being in this era.
Yeah.
Really psyched. And my question is, the galactic period that we're in now, does that mean we'll see more of our galactic neighbors?
Oh, yeah. By the time we get all the way over here, we'll have a consciousness that spans this entire galaxy.
And since that's a year, I mean, this year.
Well, no, this is 2010.
Oh.
This actually begins in 2010. Then this cycle starts February 10th, 2011, and runs for 260 days.
So we have to wait that long.
Yeah. Do you think you're waiting? Yes, sir.
On what she's saying there, but perhaps it would be good to talk about June 1st.
Yeah. Well, June 1st is, remember this demonstration I did earlier?
Of what year?
This year. This year. Here's all the power sitting there. Here comes the consciousness of ethics, and it is looming, don't you think? Yeah. Looming over power. I mean, they're going, you know. They're not ready to turn around yet. Meanwhile, we have. We can see it. But they can't. But this is June 1st. Boom. June 1st is the absolute middle point of this whole cycle. And it comes down. Just like a 2x4, this boom. And then ethics keeps going, just bulldozing all this power over kind of consciousness right out of the way. It's going to be traumatic for some people, yeah, and exalting for everyone else.
Separation they're talking about.
Boy, the cleaving. Oh, yeah. Yes?
June 1st.
So
June 1st is when that boom happens, yeah.
There's people that hold to the whole conspiracy theories, New World Order, all this kind of stuff, and I think what I'm seeing happening is that as people become more and more aware of it, it's harder and harder for the people that are trying to pull it off.
Yes.
So is that the ethics is going to crush that whole
Certainly
thing?
will. These guys have diabolical plans. I'll just tell you right out, they want 80% of you dead.
Right.
80% is the plan.
Well, chemtrails are...
Chemtrails, soy, aspartame, fluoride, just Coca-Cola with, you know, and all that. They got a plot and a plan. They want to get rid of 80% of the people. On the other hand, creation has a much grander plan and no big disasters in mind. So these guys have a problem. They got all these plans. Here I am. I've had millions of plans. And about that many of them turned out the way I thought they would. You know? So, what makes these guys any better?
It's that old saying, 99% of everything you were afraid of didn't happen.
Right. Yes. So these guys have horrible, draconian plans. That's all they can see now. They got to cover their tracks, you understand? They got to get rid of everybody who would consider them, out of line. So they're just racing away and don't care if they get caught with all the stuff they're doing. They don't even care. Actually, they kind of want to get caught because that will make people more angry and willing to kill each other.
And they want the prestige of everybody knowing that they're the ones that did it.
Yeah, the diabolical beasts. Yeah,
pride,
they want that. And so you're going to see stuff that's going to be a test to allow. Really are.
So do you suppose June 1st it's going to be more of an exposure on the media? Yeah. And
it already is.
Jail time, all that.
The media has already changed track. You guys watch the news?
I haven't noticed.
Yeah,
because
I know.
Control the media.
I understand. But see, I'm supposed to watch the news. Yeah, and you don't watch the talking heads. You read the crawl at the bottom. wonderful education. It's uplifting. Now that you know this, you kind of know what to look for. And you can see all this stuff popping up. The word ethics. Count how many times the word ethics shows up in one day. I mean, it's just all over the place. With all these investigations and this and that, and the exposures, the whistleblowers that are coming out. Yeah, it's tremendous. Yes, ma'am.
Soy, not to back you up for a minute.
Yeah.
I know there's lots of opinions about many things, but what's the diabolical plan to do with soy?
Well, soy turns out to be a carcinogen, and the chemicals it produces in your body turn into a brain poison.
Soy does?
Soy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Non-GMO as well?
What's that?
Non-GMO.
Oh, yeah. As organic as it can get. It's the plant itself is a brain poison. On our webpage, under the health section, there's 3,500 articles on our webpage, but they're categorized. And under the health section, there's a whole expose on soy and the marketing machine that built it as a health product.
Oh, jeez. What about whey?
Whey?
Whey.
Whey seems to be fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yes.
Crop circles. You got any information about
Well,
who's really making them?
yeah, well,
Other dimensions.
I don't know.
What is?
I don't know exactly, but I know it's a communication, and that's life. I mean, what life does is it communicates, and so some form of life is producing these as a communication. I think it's a ramp up, sort of like, you know, I was talking about at the very beginning. I was doing the Mayan symbols. I'm sculpting them, you know, and it's like I'm getting all these messages. Well, crop circles are a great way for an interaction of extraterrestrials. Very ethical, because nobody has to look. You know, there's nobody hurt. The crops actually grow better next season. There's nothing damaged. It's very, very soft touch.
Peaceful geometry.
Yeah, and what happens when people see them is they get an impression from it. Whatever the impression, it's talking to their intuition.
Yes.
Yes.
So I didn't understand in the beginning when, with the words next to the timelines, I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
Were those words put in there from patterns that people have seen from history, or were those words inscripted on the rock?
From what we've seen in history.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happens with, once this calendar is finished,
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that's the 20-day cycle, and then when that's all done, then what?
Well, what happens, the reason the calendar ends is because more and more happens in every moment than ever before. Faster and faster and faster, more and more happening until finally, absolutely everything which is infinitely possible all happens at the same time. Which is the truth in the first place. It's just that our consciousness hasn't caught up to that yet. That's what this evolution is about. So once we get to that point, there is not one single limit of time and space whatsoever. End of Mayan calendar. End of calendars. And open to your own personal creation of whatever it is that you wish to experience with no limit whatsoever. Or on anybody else either.
Is that what Red Braden talks about, zero point?
I'm not sure if that's exactly the same term. 0 point on he's talking about the electromagnetic shutdown of our system, which means the end of your mind. The mind is electromagnetic. It's not your brain. It's a field, more like your aura, is your mind. It's all the mental pictures that you've got. All those are electromagnetic. When the electromagnetic field falls, the mind is gone. So that's a step or stage toward having no limit, because all the limits only exist in your mind. So, did that answer that question? Okay. Yes. A couple of more questions, then we'll go have cookies and go to bed. Oh, yes.
Did the Maya
receive information of what was the creation purpose? Did they know what was the creation purpose, or they just were given the calendar? And
the Maya that I have met with in the current living Maya, they